everyone, my name is Lydia, class of 2020, which makes me a senior right now as I'm recording this, and in a couple of weeks I suppose I won't be considered one anymore, but regardless I do think I'll always feel like a student. Anyway, this video is about a decision that I had made in my very final semester to drop my philosophy minor that I was really close to completing to doing something drastically different from what I had ever done before, which is making animated videos about theory of computation, which is a really interesting theoretical computer science course that studies the limitations of computing. So if you've not taken the course before, I do highly recommend taking it, and maybe you will watch the videos along with it. But honestly, that decision to drop my minor was not just about the minor, it was a decision to drop everything else that I thought, growing up was a sign of success. Like getting straight A's in college and having a million academic achievements under my belt by the time I graduated, and having everything I do be solely for my future career. And I really hope that by watching this video that you'll be able to find some kind of inspiration to also let go of any past expectations and pressures you have to do college a certain way. So just to provide a little bit more information about the project that I actually work on with Audrey, I prepare the key points and script for each video on my own, and then Audrey very kindly reviews it to make sure that I don't say anything wrong or teach anything wrong, because that would be pretty bad. And then I create the storyboard and draw each scene on my own, record my voice, and then I put everything together. And definitely after making a couple of videos, I can see a huge improvement from the first few scenes I ever drew to what I'm able to come up with today. I was also never considered an art person growing up. I did grow up in a very artistic family. Everyone in my family actually does art in some way, and I'm the only one whose field is not traditionally, artistic, though I do think in the STEM fields a lot of creativity is actually involved. And growing up being very good at school, I grew up with the narrative that I was just good at school and not at art. So growing up with that narrative, I definitely still feel very self-conscious about my work, but I also know that if I stop now, I'm never going to be able to get better at it. And also, I love computer science and I find a computer science concept so interesting, but it's not because I'm any smarter than, everybody else who's not doing computer science. I think it's more that I was taught computer science in a way that worked for me, and hopefully I can do the same and make it accessible for other people who don't find the traditional ways of learning computer science effective for their learning. So don't let the amount of experience and skill that you have stop you from trying and pursuing something new. So finally, I don't want this video to just be about me, so I'm just gonna give and wrap it up with some big sister advice, and hopefully some of it resonates with you. 1. There is no one right way to do college. It took me 3 years to figure out what I really wanted from college, and I really do think that every experience I had along the way helped me get there. So if you ever feel like anything you're doing right now is a waste of time, it's not. It's a stepping stone. 2, you don't need straight A's. I went to this conference in my first year, and I attended this panel where there was an engineer on the panel. I think she was an aerospace engineer. Well, she was an engineer and she was clearly really brilliant. And she was sharing a story about how in her final year in college, she took this extremely difficult math class, which I don't remember what it was, but she got a C in the end. And she said, she worked so hard in that class, but she really learned so much from it. And she does not regret taking it at all. That C was worth it. And I was just so inspired by that. And I was like, yes, I'm going to take all the hard classes now. And it really pushed me to take, classes that I initially was not confident in at all. And it all worked out fine. 3, it is never too early to start a project. When I first came up with the video idea, I thought that I had to be a lot smarter, like I had to have a master's or a PhD, but the truth is, the more you learn, the less you know, right? Like you just find out the world is so much bigger and there's so much out there you don't know. So if that's what's stopping you from starting something, you're never going to get started because you can never know everything. So there is definitely no requirement to starting something. So if you have something in mind, definitely just start now. Finally, don't be afraid to reach out for help. Our college professors are our greatest supporters. Professors, faculty, staff, they are not there to set you up for failure. They are invested in your success, especially at Mount Holyoke. I really do think Mount Holyoke is one of the best institutions in the world for getting into computer science for the first time. It's an extremely incredible and daunting field, but our department goes above and beyond to ensure that nobody feels like they are not fit for computer science, because anyone can do computer science if they want to, truly. And alums too. Alums are there and invested in your success. They once were like you and they want to help you. So please don't be afraid to reach out. I promise that there is someone and many people out there who want to help you. So I hope this video was helpful in some way. I'm very much used to speaking into a microphone, not so much at a camera. And finally, huge shout out to Audrey for encouraging me to make this video and supporting me always, and also the entire CS department for being the best department I could ever ask to be a part.